What's up guys, today we're going to learn arrays. Now what are arrays? Arrays are similar to variables. Now the only difference between variables and arrays is that arrays holds multiple values and variables use or hold single value. Now in order to create a variable, what you do is you type the type of the variable, whether it's an int, a float or a double, and then after that you type your variable name. Now you can initialize it to 3 or whatever, but this is a variable. Now in order to hold multiple elements in this value, and by elements I mean values, now in order to hold multiple elements in this variable named as dragon, what we use is we use array. Now in order to use an array, what we go ahead and type the square brackets and the length, like let's say we have 5. Our array is gonna hold 5 elements, and by elements I mean values. Now you go ahead and type equal to sign, and inside your curly brackets you actually type the values or the elements. Now I have 44, 77, 22, and you can separate it via comma. So these are pretty much our 1 2 3 4 5 values. Now what you do next is you can like type in cout and then dragon, and then inside your square brackets whatever position you want to print it out on the screen. So I'm gonna print out the second variable, the second element of this dragon array. So I'm gonna type here like 2. So what if we go and build and run? Oh, we forgot the semicolon. So it prints out 22, but 22 is not on position 2. So the reason is that because computer starts counting from 0. So in order to reference these elements, we use something called index. Now if we go ahead and type like 0 1 2, so the second index would hold an element 22. And let's say what do we have in our 0th index or the base index, because the very first or the 0th index that holds element 44 is also called base index. So let's say we have 0 over here, and then it prints out 44. So the thing is that don't get confused with the word index and elements and values. Index is just the way of referencing these elements. 0th index, 1st index, second index, sorry, first index, second index, third index, fourth index. So we have your elements here: 44, 77, 22, 66, 13, and this is the 0th index, first index, second, third, and fourth. So this index is just their way of referencing these variables. Sorry, again, excuse me, not variables, these are elements. And we are talking about arrays, not variables. So the definition of array is: an array is a series of elements of the same type placed in contiguous memory locations. So these locations, or these boxes, you can call as memory locations. Now contiguous means sharing the same border. So this word contiguous right here means sharing the same border, or you can call them as memory cells or memory locations to be more precise. Now those were the technical terms. In easy terms, usually an array is a variable that can hold multiple values. Basically an array is not a variable, but you can call it as a variable if you want to like understand. So in easy terms, an array is like a variable that can hold multiple values, and this list right here is called the array initializer list, and this whole thing is called array declaration. So again, an array can hold multiple values and a variable can hold single values, and in order to access them, this is your syntax. You type your square brackets and which cell or which location you want to access, you can type that in these square brackets. And the referencing of these elements is called index. So index would be, in order to, if you want to reference these locations, you can reference them via using index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want to access the third element, so what I'm gonna use is 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna type in here 0, and then again it's going to print out 66. So again, one last time I'm going to review this. An array, you can initialize them in this array initializer list, and in order to access is what you do is you take care that computer starts counting from 0, and with respect to that 0, if you want to access the fifth element, what you do is what you write here 4. So if I want to access the fifth element, I want to write here 4, and then I can access that element. So 13, there you go. So for now, as you're a beginner, just remember that this is the method, this is the way of creating an array. So what you do is you type the size of the array, and then how many arrays you want to type in should be equal to this size, and this is the way of accessing it. So that's it for this tutorial. You guys study this tutorial, watch it again if you cannot understand, and I will see you guys in the next one.